Thanks a lot for coming in.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Something about this community appeals to you?
This is a wonderful place to live.
For Kelowna Now, this is Camp Mulgat.
And we're joined by Karen Wells, who has a very personal story to tell about skin cancer. It is, I've learned recently, the most common cancer, but often written off as being not so serious, right? We probably all know somebody who just had to lop off a little mole and that was it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always go that way.
No, unfortunately.
So tell us a little bit about your son, Morgan.
All right. Well, my son, Morgan, was 33 years old. And in October of 2015, after finding out I had melanoma as well, his wife and I were kind of concerned about a mole he had on his back. He'd had it most of his life, but it got really ugly. It got big and raised up, and it was quite large, and it was like the bottom of it was purple and the top of it was black, and it was really ugly. So we finally talked him into going to the family doctor to have it checked out. She looked at it and said that, she said, well, it looks benign to me. And Morgan before he had moles removed, and he had a reaction to the freezing for the when they do the biopsy.
Right, yeah.
This was 2-3 years before, and he kind of almost fainted. So she kind of didn't want to go through that again, and she said, how about if I just freeze it off instead of doing the biopsy, because we'll save you that complication. Of course, I mean, he's going to go for the easy way out, of course. And she froze it off in the office. And he came home and high-fived me that, it's all good, Mom. She said it was benign, and she froze it with liquid nitrogen.
And it was gone at that point?
Not really, no. Because when she froze it with the liquid nitrogen, it just went really nasty. Like, it ruined 3 sets of their sheets from it oozing and...
So,
not right away. That
Right.
was about, that October, so that was around Christmas time, maybe January. And we just couldn't get him to go to the doctor. He kept saying, she said it was okay, Mom, and I didn't know. If I had known now, I would have fought with him, and I would have freaking taken
But
his
he
head.
had been told it was benign, so he let it go, and...
And so then in March, he was a landscaper, but he always wore a shirt, so he was never had sunburns on his back or anything. But something happened at work, and I guess a tree or something had rubbed up against it, and it irritated it again. So he went back to the doctor, and he saw the partner of the original doctor at the time, and he said, my wife says I have to have a biopsy on this. Let's do a biopsy. She said, well, you know what, I don't have time for 2 weeks, and she put a Band-Aid on it. And he went back in 2 weeks, and they did the biopsy. And then we were notified, it was the 14th of March, and we were notified. He went to the doctor, and she said, everything's good, you're cancer-free, it was benign. It was all good. So we planned to take his son and my oldest granddaughter from my other son, my youngest son, camping. And so we headed off in our motorhome, or our trailer, and we were at Crazy Creek camping. And we'd been at the pool all day, and I got back that day, I'll never forget. There was like 10 messages from my son. They made a mistake. The pathologist had made a mistake, and it was stage 4 melanoma. Like, not even just, it was stage 4, metastasized. It was in his adrenal glands, on his lungs, on his spine. And then eventually it went to his brain. He had brain surgery in October to remove the tumor that was there, and spent a whole month in rehab in the hospital. And I'll never forget the day that he came home. He said to me, just take him home and enjoy him. And I really didn't even know what that meant, I just didn't even... You just sort of protect yourself from all that, I think, right?
That was just the kind of make your plans moment.
Yeah, that was October. Their anniversary was October 31st. they had an awesome wedding, a Halloween wedding, and it was a masquerade ball, and everybody was dressed up. And Morgan and Jen spent that day, their anniversary, in rehab with him in the hospital. He come home November, I guess, beginning of November, and we were just, in fact, December 10th, he was getting ready to go see the notary public to do the power of attorney and everything, for his wife. And he had a seizure in the house. He died 6 days later.
So you have since tried to, obviously you got a lot of grief, but you want to harness that and do something positive.
I have to have a place for those bad times, for my, my heart to go and think that I'm doing some good, that it's,
So awareness, right?
Yes, total.
Telling your story, seeing you cry over your son is a reminder that,
yeah, it can happen to anybody.
Skin cancer is serious.
Very serious. And I don't think people realize it because, the other day I was at Tim Hortons and there was a group of men. I always look, somehow because of my son's age, and I think, what do they know? And so I went up to them with my cards and I gave them all a card. I think I'm a goof, but they kind of went, wow, are you serious? He died? And they were like shocked. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, he died. So, please get your partner to check your back. Make sure the top of your head. And I just learned something recently with my Morgan's Mole Patrol page on Facebook, that you can also, plantar's warts can become melanoma. Or instead of a plantar's wart, it could be melanoma. So if you see a little black spot on the back of your foot, in between your toes, get it checked out.
Okay, so you mentioned Morgan's Mole Patrol.
Yes.
That's kind of the home base for this effort of yours.
Yes. And we started that before he passed away, actually.
So what do you hope to accomplish with that? What are some goals for?
Well, one of the things that a dream I have is to have sunscreen applicators on all the beaches in Kelowna. I read a story a while ago about two families in Toronto that did that in memory of their sons. They lost to melanoma.
So if I was to go there now, I would see that.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
And you've made.
And I haven't made contact with them yet, but I've been searching for the dispensers, and they're readily available.
Right.
They have a stand, almost like for sanitizer for your hand.
Yeah.
Exactly. Little expensive. Like right now, we're seeing.
Whenever I see a bottle of sunscreen, it's like, whoa.
Well, the one we're seeing right now, that page was $1,000 for 2 dispensers, and then how many? 15 applications or 15 refills. Like there's a bottle you put in it, and then, So in the future, I've been in contact with my MLA, and I'm going to have a meeting with him. I've been in contact with his oncologist and his her assistant. Cheryl and I remain very close, and she still has a picture of Morgan on her desk. They were at his funeral, which is very like she said, this doctor cannot go to all these funerals. It'd be heartbreaking, right? Yeah. But he just. He just touched their lives because, of course, she was 3 months pregnant when they started treatment. Yeah. Right? So that would really touch them, right? Anyways, I just spoke to her today, and she's going to refer me to, how to get started. It's like baby steps right now. Yeah. I understand I have to start a foundation. The only, when he was first diagnosed, they did a GoFundMe page. But that went directly to the family, of course. And I'll tell you that the community was so generous.
Yeah. So I just interviewed Dr. Ben Weiss here in Kelowna. That's the second time I've interviewed him.
Yes, I read the article, or one article.
A year ago, his focus was a lot on sunscreen, and this most recent one was more focused on exactly what you're talking about, looking at, making sure you have a sort of a sense of your body and what moles are there, and if there's something new or something's changing, not to just dismiss it.
Yeah.
And I guess that the warning that comes out of your story is that, even your physician can get it wrong.
Oh, for sure. They're only human. Really. Like doctors are only human.
Right.
So you can't.
And I'm
You
hearing
got to
that-
be your own advocate.
And your average family physician doesn't have a huge amount of training about
No.
skin cancer.
I don't think so.
So
Unfortunately,
having your own questions about it, and only you can know your body the best.
Yeah.
So.
Even I think the thing to do is to go to the doctor and say, "Can I have a referral to a dermatologist?" Right? Or a plastic surgeon, even.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have a better understanding of those kind of issues.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so back to this move to try to get sunscreen at
Yes.
beaches. You made contact with any government
I
officials
haven't yet. I'll tell you what. Like I set up with you guys with the other lady in the middle of April because I knew melanoma month was May.
Right.
That's the big.
Right.
It's
So
melanoma
you're
awareness.
doing your media push
big
right
push,
now.
big push
Yeah, well,
right now.
So you've more or less said your piece, but before we wrap it up, what's your bottom line message to somebody who's seeing this and they're thinking about themselves and their loved ones? What's the bottom line message, Karen?
Don't hesitate to check it out. I mean, even if it's benign and you find that out from a biopsy, then wow, you can celebrate that. But don't take a chance. Like, really, don't take a chance. Know it. And my cards, they don't have any real contact information. They just have my link to my Facebook page because it's all about awareness. Any change in size, shape, or color, see a doctor right away.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
Karen
Kent.
Wells.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching
Thank you.
Kelowna Now.